Hey right guys, Joe here, and today we are doing a very different kind of video. First off, sorry about the lighting. It's like I say, it's 5 o'clock, but it's getting late very early on. And this was a video I wanted to kind of do before I really delved into season 3 of SKAM. I'm on episode 2 of season 3 of SKAM as of recording this. But I've made a list of my top 10 moments from season 2 because I think the only other time I've done this with TV shows was with Orange is the New Black season 4 and Game of Thrones season 6, I think. I'd like to do more top 10 lists of either TV shows or, I don't know, just anything in general. Like I do plan on doing my top 50 TV shows, which I know I've taken a while, but I said I'm going to get it up, I'll get it started by January. And yeah, SKAM is such a great show, such a like little hidden gem that I found that I wanted to kind of do more videos on it than just reactions, for example. So yeah, we're going to talk about my top 10 moments. Won't talk about them too long because I want this to be fairly short, so I'm going to stop rambling at some point. But I do have some honourable mentions because I made a list of I was writing down like every moment that I loved about season 2, and I think I ended up with 21 overall, and I've had to narrow that down to 10, and then I cut some out, and then I've got some honourable mentions that I still wanted to just like at least briefly mention because I thought they were just a little moment, or they were just kind of funny or something like that. So yeah, let me know your kind of maybe just your favourite moment from season 2 if you can't be asked to do your top 10, or maybe your top 5 or top 3 moments from season 2. I'll obviously do the same with season 3 and 4 as well. I might go back and do one for season 1 when I rewatch that. But for now, let's have a revisit in season 2. So, our first honourable mention, and because this wasn't really like a scene, it's kind of multiple scenes over the course of the show. I couldn't really class it in the top 10, but any time Nora and William are in bed together is absolutely beautiful. The conversations they have, I just think they're so cute half the time. And you can just tell even from those scenes alone, you can just tell they love each other. So yeah, more bed scenes with Nora and William will be ideal if they ever do a season 5. Thank you. Another little small moment, but we didn't get much. Obviously, we got Ava in the show. Nobody knows much season 1 because it's obviously Nora's story. But I think Ava's strongest scene, like maybe even acting wise in this season, was when Nora told her that Jonas had obviously basically moved on and found someone else. You can tell that Ava, she's put on this like kind of facade that her and Jonas are just mates and they forget about the past. But from the scene, you can tell she really still cared about Jonas, and I liked it because it was still kind of calling back to season 1 when we had the Jonas and Ava relationship, and it still had that kind of bit to it. So it was kind of sad to see Jonas move on, but I don't know. Ava, the actress, forgot her name, but yeah, she did a great job in that scene. Another honourable mention is the last kind of party scene, the very last scene that we get of season 2, and the artful work that was the sex scene between William and Nora. We got all build up towards it in season 2, and they nailed it. It was just kind of, kind of weird talking about how you enjoyed watching a sex scene, but it was Nora and William, and it was beautiful, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. They didn't even wait till marriage because they just love each other that much. A kind of smaller moment in the season, and I kind of forgot about it until I was going back through the episodes, kind of right down this list, but the conversation Nora and William have in the car, I think it's in episode 6. And Nora kind of breaks down a little bit and she starts crying, like kind of turns her head away from William. But I love this conversation. What they're kind of talking about is why they both think they're flawed as people. So like a very smaller, kind of slower scene, but I really enjoyed it. And also kind of in the same, this is another honourable mention. I've got 3 more, don't worry. I'm doing this one. I think it was in episode 7, or no, I think it's a bit later on. I think it might have been episode 9 even, maybe. It might have been episode 9 towards the end of that. But where William opens up towards Nora and basically explains why he is the way he is, gives a bit of like backstory about him and his sister, and why he hates Nikolai so much, Nico. So yeah, that was another kind of slower scene, but one I didn't want to forget to mention because it's good to see a flawed character from the start explain why he is flawed, basically. And 2 that I needed to mention anyway, but one was the fish cake scene where Nora wanted her 2 fish cakes at 5 o'clock because she planned on eating them, and I felt very sad for her because she needed those fish cakes. And 2 is this frame right here. That is art, and I refuse to call it anything different than that because that's what it is. It is art. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about it for too long. The official top 10, that was all my mentions. I still want to talk about them because they're still like cute and adorable moments and stuff. But number 10 on the list is the moment when Nora finds out the truth from the girl who was sharing the bed with her with Nico. I forgot her name. A character that kept popping up throughout the season, and I kind of clicked on that she was going to do something because they kept having her be up at some point. But it was like a big weight lifted off his shoulders when he found out that Nora wasn't raped. And she just kind of fell asleep naked, and he just bumbled in and fell asleep next to her as well. Because we had two episodes, like one was 50 minutes and then a 30-minute one where we as an audience didn't even know what happened that night. So it's good to get that confirmation and, like I say, the big weight off your shoulders that Nora was fine, nothing happened. It was still obviously horrible what he was doing and kind of manipulating her anyway, but at least it wasn't as bad as we were kind of thinking it would be as an audience. So yeah, and the girl there as well, like she wasn't. Nora in her mind kind of saw her as like she was going to be such a bitch. She even said at one point that she seemed kind of bitchy, but it was nice that she was just a nice person and just kind of explained it, any questions she had. So yeah, that was a really like sigh moment, just like glad. So yeah, that'd be number 10. At number 9, they say William and Nora. There's a lot of William and Nora moments in this list, obviously, because I adore them. But they kind of say William says I love you to Nora. She won't usually say it back, or Nora will say it to him and he doesn't really say it back. But then the scene in episode 9, I think it is as well, where, oh no, it might be episode 10, sorry. It might be episode 10 where they're in the car and they both say that they love each other. It's just so beautiful. Just hearing them say it, it gives me chills every time I think about it because they're perfect. Why can't relationships like this exist with everyone? I don't know. At number 8, a very more emotional scene in the same episode, and it's actually following that moment, was when Nora tells all her friends that she kind of thinks that she's been raped by William's brother. Like I say, a very sad, emotional scene and different to all the others that are on here, but acting wise, is it Josephine, how you say her name? Correct me if I'm wrong. Does a fantastic job, and then all her friends just being there for her and kind of helping her on what to do and trying to help her figure out a way to get the truth from Nikolai, which they eventually do from the girl. I don't know, it was sad to see, but it was also such a great scene. I think it went on for like 10 minutes, that scene in total. At number 7, we have a moment from episode 3 or 2, I think it's episode 2, sorry, where William and Nora go on their first little date, and it's not like they're just going to like a bar having a drink. He takes her to like this hill overlooking the city, and he brings out hot cocoa. I'm just like, what? This guy is adorable. And she kind of does this whole thing where she just pretends she doesn't want to be there, even though she's obviously having a good time. Well, not a good time maybe, but she does want to be there, I think. And he's not. Like when I was first watching this, because I obviously thought William was a dick, which he kind of was in season 1 and started this, I thought he was just going to keep trying on with her or something, but he just was there to talk, and I thought it was kind of adorable. And I look back at that scene now and I'm just like, young beginnings. I really enjoy that scene. I think even when I first watched it, I said that scene was the first time it gave more to William than we were led on to believe. So yeah, great scene. At number 6, we're going forward again back to episode 10, but the moment where Nora confronts Nico about that night, asks him what happened. He obviously refused to say anything and still continues to have this dickhead persona thing going on, which is really annoying. But the reason I love the scene is where she just lays out all the laws on him, basically says that owning all these photos, that he's going, oh, you can't do anything against me because I'm going to release these photos, and she says, oh, you can do that, but you're basically going to be put in prison because I'm underage, was just perfect. Watching his face go from this cocky twat to just drained of like, oh fuck, she has the upper hand, and when he comes to realise that she has the upper hand, was beautiful. And someone pointed out that, yeah, obviously Nikolai's a shit guy, but the actor who plays him did such a great job in that scene alone, just because of like him going from this thinking he has upper hand to just, you scum basically, mate. So yeah, I love that scene. I thought it was beautiful. At number 4, I've kind of linked these two together because they were in the same episode and they were kind of the same feeling I had about them both. But the moment when Nora is talking to Sana and Sana just lays out the truth like an utter boss, basically explaining like how you need to see things from William's point of view, and then saying you need to tell Vilda what's going on because she's the strongest out of all of us and stuff. Just everything she was saying made that scene perfect, and it was a long scene. I think that scene alone was 8 minutes, I think it was, and it wasn't boring. It was so easy, could have been with any other show and any other characters like having a chat just like at a window for 8 minutes straight. But I don't know, everything Sana was saying was just on point, and it was the first time that I really fell in love with her character. And then the scene following that where Nora tells Vilda that I'd kind of linked this into the same one because I had the same feelings where it was just like, Vilda, it was the first time I was just like, okay, I love this character, she's great. And where she kind of explained that she knew all along that something was happening between Nora and William, and all she needed was that confirmation to know that those two loved each other to kind of move on. Because again, seeing it from her point of view, it was just because she never had that confirmation. She always had that bit of hope that something could happen between her and William. And I don't know, I just think it was a really better way to do it than any other show. Was like, I love William, and then Vilda's like, you bitch, you fucking could have told me all this shit. Just like, no, Scam's not like that. Scam's better than all the rest, so it doesn't have to do that shit. At number 4, we had the moment at the end of episode 11, I believe it is, where William's about to go off to London. He's about to leave Nora for the rest of his life, even though despite her like doing this amazing speech to him about why they need to be together. And then it's just like a sad moment. And then she's on the phone to Ava, basically saying that, oh, he's gone to London, he's left me, and she's like crying and stuff. And then you see the car pull up behind her, and William just she just turns around, and William's there, just like, oh my god. Even think about it now, I'm just, I need to rewatch season 2, like all the way through. Such a like great way to end the episode, and I kind of thought it was going to happen like that, but you always, when it scenes like that, you kind of there in your head at the same time, like, what if he doesn't come back? What if this season will have a sad ending? But no, he did come back, and it was such a happy moment. I love that scene. Like, just seeing both their faces light up, like, yeah, we are right for each other, you're right. It's just so good. So yeah, that's number 4. And number 3 is more of a slow moment. I do think other ones in this list that are below it are actually probably better than this, like, in a reviewer's mind. But the thing about this scene is the way it was edited, the way it was done, and the music that was playing was perfect. But it's a scene where William basically comes to visit Nora, where she's led to believe that Nico had raped her. But obviously he doesn't know that at this point, and he just goes to visit her. And she just breaks down in his arms because he doesn't know what's going on, and he doesn't push her to tell him, which I think I like. He's just kind of there for her. And then they just spend like, I think it's 16 hours in bed or something, just chilling out. Why? Because she needs to like sleep, obviously, because she hasn't slept or anything like that. And then when he goes to do the essay for her, and I'm just like, William, you're such a sweetheart. He does the essay for her, which everyone reads and says how amazing it is. Wasn't even like a shit thing, and it was a long essay as well. Like when Ava's reading it. But I think because of the way I like the scene is when it's edited with. I'll probably show loads of footage here anyway. But because of the song that was playing and the way like the scene was actually edited, I think it was perfect. I wouldn't have changed a thing about that scene. Like I say, definitely one of the more slow moments and probably not on people's lists. But I don't know, there's something about this scene just really sticks with me. Because I think, like I said, I liked how William didn't just come in and was like, you need to tell. He was obviously initially kind of like, what's going on? But once he realised that she was just wanting to keep stuff to herself, and she kind of explains it, I'm just stressed and all this. Even though he knows it's not because of that. And I like when he reads the sign, I'm going to paraphrase it, but it's like, you don't know what everyone's going through in their lives, be kind always. And I said it in the reaction, but I like how it flipped from when Nora read it and she was thinking of William in episode 2, and then he was reading it and was kind of thinking of her in a way. Like, he didn't know what was going on with her, but just to be kind to her. It's just perfect. I love that scene so much. These final 2 should be very obvious because I kind of freaked out when they happened. But in number 2, we have their very first kiss, but also the part leading up to that, where they have the party and she's kind of going that she's just going off at him about like what's she having to go at him for? I can't even remember. Like refugees or something, in that he's selfish. And he just says like, if you don't like me, then tell me right now, and I'll never talk to you again. Like, I'll leave you alone. And she says it, and then the music again just hits. I'm just like, oh god, dude, no, it's so hard to watch. And he walks off, but then she runs after him, and they're on the bridge, and she just confesses. She just lays it out to him like, you're a dick, you're this, you're that, and then, but I still kind of like you. And then she just, oh my god, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, I love this scene so much. Then she just walks up to him and they just kiss, and it's just perfect. I absolutely love the scene so much. When it happened, I was just chills everywhere, and that's when I knew that this was like my favourite ship of all time. It was my favourite ship in a long, long time. And yeah, episode 5 was just perfect. I think 3, 5 and 10 were the 3 episodes I gave a 10 out of 10 to. And speaking of episode 3, my number 1 moment of SKAM Season 2. It's basically the final 10-15 minutes. I couldn't split it into two separate ones because it all kind of just is one thing for me. But when Nora's at William's party and then everyone leaves and she gets the guitar out and starts singing, the lighting in this scene alone is just perfect. Nora obviously looks beautiful. William's face where he goes from like laughing to serious of like, I like this girl. I like this girl for more than just her looks. But even though I think he knew that anyway, but just, oh, it's so good. Like her voice is so on point. It's just so beautiful. And like the song she's actually singing, I like how she sings it in English as well. I don't know why. There's just something about when she sings or says things in English, it just sounds so much more adorable. So yeah, that scene, and then the following bit where they kind of share the bed. And I thought when I was watching it, I was like, if this was Skins or any other show, they'd have sex right now. And they didn't. They just played around and they're like, oh, this is my side of the bed. And she could have so easily have gone home, but she didn't. She just wanted to spend the night with William because she was all loved up as well. And I just like how they just played around and had their little talk in bed. And William was being funny, and Nora was being adorable. It's just like, it's so good. I love them both so much. I don't want anything bad to happen to them ever. They deserve the world. They deserve to have like 5 children, a big house, successful jobs and careers, and die happily together. Just because of that scene alone. It's just perfect. That scene is perfection. It's perfection. This season is perfection. SKAM is perfection, basically, is what I'm trying to get at, in case you didn't know. Yeah, it's because of these moments the season gets a 10 out of 10 for me. It says it when I'm like trying to write a top 10 and I come up with 21 like reasons why I love this season. From 12 episodes, half of which are 20 minutes. It's like that just speaks to the show alone, like how much I love it and how great it is. So yeah, like I said, your list probably is a lot different. I know a lot of people really don't like William and Nora as a couple. So maybe even making a top 10 list for this season will be very difficult for some people because of that. But because I do ship them and I think they are like just perfect, it was very easy to make this list for me, and I still wanted to talk about it. So yeah, so it's a bit of a random different video. I'll do the same thing for season 3, talk about moments I loved about it. So yeah, I'm guessing you know which one my favourite episodes are: episodes 3, 5 and 10. And then I'd say the 2 ones that I still enjoyed but were definitely the weakest were, I think it's 4 and 6. 4 and 6 I think are the 2 weakest ones, but still enjoyed those 2, like I said. But there we go, guys. As I said it in the finale, but the season gets 10 out of 10. I'm going to probably jump it back into season 3 tomorrow. I'm going to watch episode 2 of that. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Peace.